rotation is really your friend here.
Yeah.
And I think if anything, maybe this mid Coddle got put there because he's an early vessel buyer for them, right?
Yeah.
And the vessel is just super good versus this, how this IO wants to play in this early game around these fights. Even Kunkka just negating that health region while the boat run buff is up is going to be pretty big. So it might have been another factor here, which I kind of like if he ends up going for that vessel.
Yeah. Early smoke up from Fnatic. They did manage to get a ward on the other side of the map, and the Chaos Knight Raven just kind of like stood there right in front of the tower. And Toronto Tokyo and him exchanged a bit of look, but then maybe they know about this mid ward on the other side of the river, seeing the smoke break. But this this other ward, they actually spotted that. This observer ward on the high ground as a result does spot this ward place. So
that's a free D ward sentry already on Armel, so he'll get the XP and eventually for that.
Yeah,
there's gonna be double rune fights in the river, but.
Bane, Sand King versus Chaos Knight Wyvern.
With Pashka, just with the extra night vision, gets the read, so...
yeah.
They do get the trade, but...
So
we're already seen. Like, these Fnatic side lanes, I think they looked a little awkward for me in the draft, but looking at them here, might not be as bad as I originally thought. Especially since Team Spirit's, like, their lanes aren't super aggressive, right? It's kind of this AM wants to farm up, this Sand King wants to farm up. They're not going to punish what Fnatic's trying to get away with here. And again, if they get away with it, this mid game could be pretty hard for Team Spirit to teamfight them.
TJ already gave over a Tango to Jabs, who starts off with the no regen build. So he knows he's going to have to feed over. See, you know, that's a giving 4 position right there. You know?
As opposed to who? Were you gonna flame someone?
I mean, I wasn't flaming anybody in particular. I'm just saying there's some 4s out there, maybe in my pubs or something, who refuse to buy any regen ever.
I mean, this is good what they're doing up top. Like, they're just punishing the early waves of AM coming up. Early Jingu, I really like this. He's basically going to guarantee get the procs because he's a support. He doesn't have to worry about the CS.
Yeah.
And you can even just get some early denies here. It's going to be an annoying lane for AM in the early phase, even with this mana burn.
Jab's going to kind of throw around all of his mana. Toronto Tokyo has been taking tons of damage from Armel already, so we're going to probably see some heavy investment into maybe some regen required. I don't know. He's going double bracer right away, so I'm not sure if that regen is going to be enough to sustain him.
This lane does not look fun.
No, it does not. He tried to go up for 1 CS, and Armel denied it right in front of him.
It's one of those lanes you have the base the damage advantage, but it's not doing much for you. And this is why mid Coddle is so annoying.
Yeah.
He's already farming small camp too.
Yeah.
This game, Fnatic's going to accelerate really nicely here. And this is where, again, Spirit's going to hold the line, try and get to where this Kunkka Sand King can get the team fight going. But that's where Monkey Wyvern, it's not going to be easy. And this is where these lane advantages, they matter for what your timings want to happen into that mid game for the draft.
Let it go and collapse. Really nice timing on the Sandstorm. Disjointed the Chaos Bolt. So it was nicely played. It looks like they already used one of their sentries. Blocked out the hard camp after it spawned.
A disappointment.
So Orb of Venom, we're going to see the... is this a... not a double bracer build. Is he going to go soul? You go soul ringing, right? Timber against AM?
Yeah, for sure, I think.
Right. And so he's going to leave the Orb of Corrosion to the Monkey King. Instead of like that build that we were talking about where the Timber just challenges AM.
I mean, theoretically, you don't have to. You just play on 0 mana, but I think at some point it's nice.
Yeah.
Like once you get Arcane, maybe Arcane Soul Ring, and level 6, you can kick him out of lane.
Yeah.
Also, thinking back to it, like this early smoke from Fnatic, they get these early obs. The other thing it did is it defends the small camp for Coddle, which is super big. Because we're talking about Armel already accelerating. Part of that is he's already farming the small camp in 2 minutes.
Right.
Not a lot of heroes that can do this. So Fnatic, they're already thinking ahead. Get these obs out, defend that camp, take away the one thing that you can do to stop it, and then you're good to go.
By that, you mean the enemy support isn't able to like get to that side of the river and place the sentry to block the easy camp early, which we've seen a lot of people do against mid Coddle and mid Storm, right?
Those are the 2 big ones.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it's necessary, but I feel like versus mid Coddle in a game where he's kind of free, you have to.
DJ slowed down to a crawl, but the Orb of Venom, he tries to do a little bit of mischief dodge, but it's not good enough. Yutaro gets the first blood of the game.
This is not the hero you want to give first blood to, but
No.
Yutaro will take it. And these are these little openings you don't want to give a team like Team Spirit these little things, because they'll run away with them, and it'll make up for a lot of this early game that really was not going their way to a decent degree.
No, I mean, look at this CS difference between all of these players. I mean, Yutaro was still sitting at 6 CS as he struggled to be able to get some of the last hits away from Jab.
Kills are the best accelerator, especially when it's the first one.
Yeah, what's he at net worth wise? Oh god, here we go. So
He
he's
was
actually
at the
third
top,
as a
though.
result.
Yeah. But DJ will get the pull off. And Yutaro, he did go the Orb of Venom, and he's flying out the belt, or the band of Elven Skin. So it's a bit more aggressive for him. He really wants to run up this lane, play aggressive, punish the 0 mana. I think it's a decent way to play this because he has the IO for the region. Again, going back to that draft, talking about Spirit can send this Bane bottom. This IO top is what's going to give this AM the option to itemize more aggressively and be okay in this lane. At the same time, it might hurt Collapse's game a little, but I feel like Spirit's getting away with a decent amount bottom.
This will come in handy.
Yeah, how's he doing?
fine.
Collapse.
This was a useless kill.
Earn pickup soon. Mapochka just giving whatever regen he can. Looks like we're going to have boots into full out wand for Raven.
I think not.
To me, this early game is a lot about what is Armel going to do
Okay.
in that 7 to 10 minute period. Does he choose to just continue to farm up? Does he get this super fast Veil? Does he rush the bots? Is he going to gank a side lane, right? These are like the big things that he has to decide about his game, because I think his hero is the pivotal hero in terms of breaking this game open. He's going to have an amazingly free game. And it's a question of how much you get done with that. And he can get a decent amount done on these side lanes if he chooses to go that route. But it's also the riskier route. He goes to that side lane, the gank fails for whatever reason. He gets slept or something. It can be rough.
Toro taking a lot of damage here from jabs, but Mira's back in lane. He's got 7 magic stick charges to the salve, so ultimately he is perfectly fine, content. Keep farming. Oh, big deep dive. Collapse and Mapochka cutting back past the tower, and as a result, do hunt down Januel.
Yeah, just found him. No boots. It's a downside of Wyvern. 285 MS. It's Arctic Burn on CD. Gets run down. Again, little scrappy kills for Spirit. Kind of making up for some of the CS differential. And even more so, their heroes they just want levels. And that's like the biggest thing. If their cores can just stay on the lane, and even the extra kill XP for their supports, it's going to be super nice.
Did you see that? DJ used a Boundless Strike, and he actually did not kill the Hellbear, but in like the second that Yutaro was stunned, the creep actually died to his Orb of Venom from jabs instead. Or excuse me, DJ.
That's a DJ play if I've ever heard of one.
Like he just barely was off, but then the Orb of Venom takes it down.
He knew, you know.
Yeah,
He's
true.
been stealing
Perfect
CS
math.
from cores for years. He's an expert at it.
Alright, rain drop for jabs. Is that just to deal with like the mana void burst?
Armel's trying to get bottom here.
Yeah, he is. He's getting in
This
front of
is his
Collapse
first
here.
rotation.
Body blocking, they have the dust, the sandstorm's not going to be able to save him, and I was just about to ask, like, what does DJ do at this period of time, because I don't think he really does anything in the Timbersaw lane anymore, and he actually chooses to head bottom to help set up that kill.
Pretty much. I mean, this Timber AM lane, you have no aggressive potential, so it's a wash lane. At the same time, this Timber will get the solo XP, because AM can never kill him at this point.
Yeah.
So you're happy to just get the XP. You're going to be a little behind on net worth than you'd rather be. You're not going to pressure AM as hard, but you're going to get the solo levels. And yeah, then it's a question of what does DJ do with that freedom? And that's where, ideally, he wants to be killing bottom or mid. Because this monkey, he's a support who, he wants to get the early levels off kills. He doesn't want to just kind of like sit in a lane, unless he's chain killing that lane, you know?
Right.
Then he'll feel good. But ideally, he wants to get some cheeky kills here and there. So these are big pickups if he can combine with Armel and make it happen. At the same time, Spirit Ancient stack for Collapse here. He's pretty chilling.
Yeah, he is. And the faster he gets that Blink Dagger, the sooner they have an answer to Coddle, right?
Yes. And interestingly, he went and earned this game. Not an item I've seen him build on Sand King a lot, but I can see him potentially wanting a Vessel later for some Wyvern Cold Embrace shenanigans. There's some Coddle heal in this game, Jingu, but the Timbersaw as well is, you know, obviously the biggest one.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just prepping for that Vessel later, but he's definitely going to rush the Blink because, I mean, it's Collapse. He wants to get in there and stun people.
Yeah, yeah. It's like if you're going to go Vessel anyway, might as well get some early earn charges sort of deal.
Yeah.
It is going to slow down his Blink Dagger, perhaps even more if he dies here, but there is going to be a response from Toronto Tokyo. Pulls back in the carry. Chaos Knight, Raven in big time trouble, and Genuel's not going to be able to help him out too much, especially with further TPs coming in. Maposhka actually keeping Genuel in place as long as possible with a little bit of body blocking. Raven and DJ playing the side here and are actually ready to go back in with this healing salve complete. They're going to pop the dust. Collapse immediate response is to Burrow Strike into the trees, but he can't get far enough away. The vision is given, and Raven pounces, pulls him back into his death. And ultimately, Fnatic, I thought they were going to be outnumbered in their off-lane tower, but they brought everybody down here to this area.
Yeah, you only have one boat. So
Oh!
Here's thy reckoning.
there's that 2v1 paying off.
Yeah.
We saw Mira cancel that TP bottom, so that was the correct choice, I think. And now they're going to start to accelerate this anti-mage. This is what you don't want to have happen in this type of lane, but it's just really hard to avoid because they just didn't have the pressure potential early.
Yeah.
And that's the upside of this IO, right? This early IO laning choice is what
Oh
got them.
no! The dust went off just a half a second late. It doesn't matter though. Collapse is still very dead because once you Burrow Strike away, how do you get away from this goddamn solar bind?
You're not getting away. that is the answer. I mean, Armel's doing a decent amount with this lead.
Yeah.
Talking about those side lane ganks, the AM is not really the option, so it's the Sand King, and Collapse, he's getting shut down. That Ancient stack did a lot for him. He's still ahead of Jabs here, but it's sending a decent amount of net worth the Coddle's way, who is already having an amazing game, and he's even doing more stacks on his side of the map, so he is fat.
This is an interesting move. They have this nice vision inside of the triangle, so they're actually going to gank Jabs while he's trying to do a little bit of stacks himself. And they've got a Mana Void to be able to pop him. That's going to be good enough. The supports of Fnatic could not be there in time. So, an active anti-mage move once again from Yutoro.
Super nice. This AM can contribute to his team's early game, especially with that IO investment. It's like one of the biggest things you can do. I mean, it's kind of a weird idea, but this AM's it's kind of playing the aggressor this game with his Kunkka wall. Collapses. He's a carry, you know. He's farming some ancient stacks.
Yeah.
Cosplaying his Fen over here. It's like, don't worry, guys. I'll be highest net worth soon. Keep making stuff happen, Yutoro.
And he does have that Blink Dagger now. So all that ancient stacking, something that Fnatic did not actively shut down in any way. And now they're actually going to be able to sneak in a gank on Raven. A big kill. Fiend's Grip into plenty of disables, and Yutoro, well, he doesn't have the Mana Void to take the last hit, so Collapse is going to be able to snag it with the Sandstorm instead.
Armel's setting up top, though, for this return.
Oh, yeah. Mira, thankfully, leaves the AM behind, and instead will just be the sacrificial lamb.
So who do you invest in at this point, Cap? Is it the Armel Coddle or is it the Yutoro anti-mage? Because that kind of feels like what's the show right now.
Yeah, it does kind of feel that way. And I mean, this AM is just so... He's so much further ahead than I expected him to be, you know?
The one upside is he's low level.
True.
You're playing this IO carry pair, which is why people don't like this. You know, most carry players get out of my lane.
How
Then you
much
leave
does
and
that
then,
slow
come back to
down?
my lane, I need help.
Yeah.
And then you go back and get out of my lane, I need XP.
How much does that slow him down, like the low levels of Blink?
It's not a huge deal for anti-mage.
Yeah.
I mean, he'd much rather have the network than last battle here.
Massive kill,
This is
Armel.
huge.
They've been setting up for this one. I can't believe Fnatic tried to defend this safe lane tower.
That was honestly bizarre.
Yeah.
I mean, they know they have the capability to get everybody down here because they saw this Toronto Tokyo X top. So they know they're not going to defend top. Spirit's going to try and trade these tier 1s. I honestly think it's just it's a pretty big misplay by Armel to die here. This is not a hero you want to die on, especially in the early game, because this is when your impact's peaking, right?
Yes.
So you want to keep accelerating with the peaking impact and get in another 2 or 3k advantage here, which this hero can easily do. But you die like this, it's time off the map, your waves come in, they know where you're going to go next, might be able to set up on you even. And there's another reload up, Grip coming up in 15. This is a decent part of the game where Spirit can start being aggressive and trying to set stuff up.
Collapse. We're going to watch his moves with the Blink Dagger, and he's going to TP up to the top lane, see if catch anybody who's going to push in aggressively. They will not. It's Fnatic who has some nice deep wards here. Miposhka with a good read. Ooh, should spot this one if he had any high ground vision. Maybe a courier will come over here. Yeah, he's sending his courier over.
They really want to get a fighter on this tier 1. If they can start on Kunkka, it's decent, because he's the big bow counter initiation.
They spot him. The smoke is going to break on Miposhka here, but Miposhka can't do quite enough. They managed to pull back in Toronto Tokyo straight into the blast on top of 2 of them. The sleep save was not good enough, nor was the smoke break. Fnatic with a nice, big, decisive move. Just like they made the move to bottom lane, Fnatic bringing all 5 into this mid lane. They make these moves with concerted effort of, like, everybody on the team.
That was definitely worth the while. They get the tier 1 mid. Huge core kill on this Kunkka, who he had BKB, but not on him. So maybe that fight goes a bit different if he has it. Then they can reload in, they can TP. I mean, Collapse didn't have TP, so maybe that fight's just impossible. But it's a nice move from Fnatic, and this is the type of game plan you want. Let this Coddle get the lanes, and he can bots into the fights. It's about this CK and Monkey being able to set up these plays, make stuff happen. At the same time, you were talking about in this draft the split push potential from this AM versus the lack of catch.
Mm-hmm.
He had a 13-minute Battle Fury. He's got an IO amping him up. He is ripped right now. This is your...
Is it 6-pack AM? This is like 12-pack AM, you know?
He's just going to town, and I don't see a lot stopping him, to be honest. So this is gonna be a force to be reckoned with.
So, do you think that this AM is the be-all, end-all of, like, late game, or do you think this is an AM who's going to hit a certain timing and just wants to close out the game?
He's going to hit a timing and want to close it out. At the same time, I think either lineup can go late game. I think it's actually a pretty evenish game in terms of scale. Maybe Fnatic theoretically scales a little harder if their supports get farmed.
Yeah.
But that's like a big question mark, right?
Right.
But I think this AM... He's going into the Scotty, and he has Battle Fury Manta Scotty. He is going to be an absolute force to be reckoned with at that point in time, and that is when Spirit are going to try and close the game out, right? Maybe they don't go higher on an end, but they're going to want to take the fights, get the Aegis, get that 10 or 50k gold lead. So I don't see anybody contesting him in the fight. I mean, you need a really good... You have to land a Wyvern ult or CK stun and chain it and have him not get saved. That's the upside of this Team Spirit opener, too. The IO Bane are not doing much in terms of your lane shove, but you can just give all the farm to your cores. They're pretty good at backing up that net worth in the fights. Double save, double displacement, BKB pierce.
Smoke breaks. They find Raven, and the rest of Fnatic had just left. He tries to go for the dodge. Unfortunately, he still gets pulled back, and that is going to be the death of him. Double ults being popped. Januel spotted those Sand King for a second, but didn't really see a good ult to be able to throw down. Looks like they'll be able to catch Miposhka, and Collapse has already slipped away into the trees, so he should be fine here. That's a number of times now this Chaos Knight keeps on getting picked off by Team Spirit, and they seem to get the timing right, where Raven did have heroes around him like a minute beforehand, but then a minute goes by, no one's around, they just pick him off real quickly.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit of unfortunate luck there.
Yeah.
At the same time, that's a hard gank to hit, honestly. It's one of these ganks to that top corner of the map where you're trying to find this carry on the backward farm rotation. I'd say maybe it hits 1 out of 10.
Yeah.
It's really low probability in terms of the historical statistics of Dota. I'm kind of surprised it hit that well for them there, and then they all got out basically. I mean, Bane dies, but who cares, right?
Sure, yeah.
And that's also some of this Bane night vision. It's another small aspect of this hero that... It's another reason I think Spirit really like this hero is Miposhka likes to play aggressive with his warding. He likes to get vision for fights and set up some of these collapse blinkers to get the good team fight. Even small ganks like that, it makes a big difference.
So you think that superior nighttime vision is very important and key component to a hero?
Why does this question sound like a trap?
I mean, I was just saying that Arkosh really likes Sniper for that reason, you know?
That's why Arkosh is in Div 2 and we haven't seen them for 3 months.
Bye-bye, Maposhka. He's just doing one of those really aggressive moves where he's trying to get down some deep vision, I assume, as he's got some 2 wards, but unfortunately did not get anything behind the mid-tier 1 tower. So he was spotted first.
I mean, he got vision, right? Look at Spirit on this map, on this mini-map. Collapse top with bots and Blink. Hard to catch him. AM's just spam pushing this bottom lane farming jungle.
Yep.
He's stacking Ancients in between these AM rotations, doubling up on how much he's farming. And Toronto Tokyo, he's X-shoving mid. This is the catch problem for Fnatic.
Yeah.
I think they need to do something about it a little bit.
Well, they do have one answer. Jabs went ahead and built Yules. So that is one way to be able to catch the X marks play, right?
It definitely helps. I mean, he uses Kunk up, he can BKB when he comes down. Might be a little hard to take the fight if his team's around, but Fnatic's gonna smoke here and tend to agree.
They're gonna go all in on Jazz, but he just Timber chained away. Oh, what a disaster. They might still be able to get him, though. The AM is plenty fierce. Yanuel. Oh, no, he throws out the curse, but it doesn't actually do anything about Yutoro. And he finished off the kill. He actually managed to get the grip, but immediately stopped by the Monkey King. Getting low, Raven, he wants to be able to finish up at least Collapse, but he can't even get that much with the rest of his BKB. He's gonna try and run away, but no amount of armlet toggling will save you here today, sir. Team Spirit with a great team fight there, getting the pick off on the Timber Saw, and then 1 by 1 catching Fnatic heroes. Even Armel almost getting caught by Toronto Tokyo. Didn't quite find the Keeper of the Light ultimately. Watch that one again.
I mean, just an amazing start to this fight by Team Spirit. I'm not even sure it should have gone that well for them.
Yeah.
But anytime you can take the Wyvern out of the fight, that's the big counter initiator here. And as we see, that is a nice Coddle Blast, but you're not cleaning up the sustain that's coming out from this IO.
I have to wonder if, like, a big part of that is just the boat buff, right?
For sure. I mean, that's why they love this hero.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we saw Toronto Tokyo play this hero as one of his either top 2 or 3 most played heroes at TI. This Kunkka is one of the only mids who buffs your other cores in the fight.
Yeah.
The other one's Invoker with Alacrity.
Managed to catch the 2 supports, while on the other side of things, we saw DJ barely get away from his own little bit of assault. DJ is trying to complete up an Orchid and should be able to get it somewhat soon if he doesn't get caught by these gank attempts.
Orchid's going to be nice versus supports for a decent amount of time, but
yeah,
all 3 of these Team Spirit cores, we talk about them, they like this tri-core farming and scaling. They are all getting high on that net worth. They're all going to have ways to dispel it.
Dire are scanning.
And this Armel Coddle, he went BKB. He's pretty strong in the fight. He felt like he had to do it, I think, just for this AM blinking on him, Manta, and it's just too much burst damage that can come out. But it's not more burst from him, right? It's not a damage scaling item. It's not helping him pick off heroes on the map or accelerate the game too much. And this is a lot of net worth on their top net worth hero that is supposed to be ideally the tempo and map controller for them.
They're boxing in. A lot of really good vision here from TJ. Leads out on a stun onto Yutoro, but immediately gets caught by Collapse.
Nice
Jabs
embrace.
follows that through. They're going to go for a nice curse here, catching 3. The boat finished off DJ. Now the rest of Fnatic can come in. The BKB activated by Toronto Tokyo, and Jabs doesn't do a bit of damage. Yutoro actually going for a Mana Void onto Jabs, threatening him a bit, and now the Fiend's Grip actually catching Armel. Yutoro in prime position to be able to finish up him. A full duration Fiend's Grip. Raven goes for the kill onto the Bane, but it doesn't save Armel in time.
Epicenter.
3 seconds done. Here comes the Epicenter. Collapse comes in. Finish him off with a triple kill. Absolute monster. Collapse seals the deal on that team fight.
All right, I'm giving this man all the Ancient stacks. That's all I know. If there's an offlaner you want to give Ancient stacks to, it's probably this Collapse guy. He tends to pay it back pretty well. But honestly, I almost felt like Yutoro just, with this IO behind him, they do not have the damage to deal with him.
Look at his peak efficiency. They were like, well, everybody's dead. I guess we'll just go ahead and clean up this tri-camp, or triangle. Watch that one again. Armel's unfortunate positioning in front of everybody else while everybody is retreating.
And he didn't get that BKB off either. So
Yeah.
It's just so much net worth gone. And Collapse just gets to triple clean up here with the shard, the epicenter. He was channeling that in vision, but
Yeah.
what are you gonna do about it? This is kind of this is where that split push got Team Spirit to a point where who is gonna run in and start the fight for Fnatic?
Yeah.
Does CK just want to run in? There's a lot of AoE, there's Sandstorm, there's a boat. He might just get gripped. It's kind of awkward for them to start these initiations, and at the same time they're getting heavily outfarmed on the map. These are these types of games where Fnatic, they feel pressure to do something, but what do? It's not always that easy to see the opening and get it.
Right.
The alternative is you can just force an objective, which in this case would be Roshan. And CK, he could do it. He did get nerfed in that aspect, so I don't even know how fast it is compared to the last patch. Definitely slower. It is something Fnatic could do, but at this point, I'm not even sure how reliable it is, and their lineup isn't exactly built for it.
Yeah. It seems like maybe they're going to take a little bit more of an active approach with the Blink Dagger complete for Raven.
It's interesting. I mean, I feel like it's just it's kind of this response of we're getting ratted, we're getting out front of the map. I need to help catch or start these fights, you know, do something active. At the same time, you're building an item that's not helping you in the face-on-face engagements. And Spirit is at the point. Scotty on Yatoro.
Yeah, they are online.
He's going to be in your face.
Oh, Jesus. He immediately just jumps in with Abandon. Immediately gets caught.
4 seconds
4 seconds stun. Here comes Mira with the duels. It's stopped out Mira. Yatoro's still going to be able to blink away with the full Fiend's Grip on the side. Orchid stops it. Raven still needs help, though. Stuck inside the pit.
Nice
they do
curse.
get a great curse on a collapse. Stopping in. Sandstorm plus Roshan still going to finish up Raven, though. A 1-for-1 trade out, though, as both teams managing to counter each
Yatoro
other.
in the back, though.
Yeah, he's spotting jabs. He sees them. He blows them up almost immediately. The sun comes out from TJ. He's got an Orchid as well.
No
but
dispel.
where is the damage? The sleep, the defensive nightmare. That's enough. There was no dispel to be able to get rid of that Orchid. The supports managed to bring down the carry of Team Spirit. Toronto Tokyo, though, he sees an opportunity. Armel, they managed to finish up the support, but Toronto
Buyback from
Tokyo
Sand
really
King.
wants to be able to get this one with Collapse coming in as support. They're going to try and catch these heroes. Amar Chill chasing after him. Collapso blinking in. Does manage to catch Armel, but they have the save. They have the defensive play. And a buyback coming out from Jabs now. Team Spirit, have they overextended themselves, or is Collapse full end committing? Might just be able to finish Armel. Another save, but the magic damage
That
is just
caustic
good
pop.
enough. The caustic pop doing so much damage to DJ as a result, but he jumps in, gets the Orchid. They really have to get Collapse here. Force a die back out of him. He
Bullet
dodges the
dodge.
stun, turns around, gets the stun on the monkey, blinks over to the side. Is he
Toronto's
going to be able
back.
to get out of here? Toronto Tokyo's back, pulling in. Poor Januel, he's dead. Another buyback being committed, but it's all disaster. Oh, the two-man stun from DJ, setting it up, but they don't have the damage. Raven can't chase down these heroes. Team Spirit is running circles around
tether?
Fnatic. Another tether to the side. A Yules to be able to stop it. They finish up Mira at least, but the cores collapse. He's ready to go back in with another epicenter even, but no, he calls it. He says, that's good enough. We have run Fnatic ragged. They almost got jabs here, actually, with
Nice
defensive
sleep
nightmare.
take.
They're going to be able to jump forward and take Januel instead, who had to tank the sleep.
Another curse. You might get him.
Close, collapse. Oh, he was one swing away. Meanwhile, AM is on the hunt. He is chasing down heroes as best as he can with that Scotty. Fortunately, Jabs will be able to get away. Otherwise, that would have been utter disaster. I mean, it was disaster. It was disaster for Fnatic. 12K net worth up for Team Spirit after just a monster team fight performance by them.
That was an absolutely insane fight. I feel like they lost that fight halfway through because AM dies off the soul burn, which was 2 minutes ago now.
Yes.
If we can remember back that far. Somehow Spirit dragged this fight out long enough that it's still going by the time Yatoro responds. That's absolutely insane execution by them.
I mean, that's
very aggressive
that-
buyback from Collapse too. I mean, they knew they were
Yeah.
fighting for this Roche, so I think it's the correct decision, but that looked like it almost was going to go insanely bad for them.
That's the nature of the Tricor that you were kind of talking about for Team Spirit, right? Is that they still felt confident to be able to take the rest of that team fight, even though their AM was down. Like, Toronto Tokyo was actively playing for more.
Exactly. And he doesn't even have super aggressive items, but if these fights go on that long, he gets so many Tidebringers. There's all these epicenters, random shard procs, the sandstorm. It's just so much to deal with for Fnatic in a long situation like that. We did see, though, in those short intervals where they get, like, a good winner's curse, they can get the stuns on the anti-mage.
Yeah.
They'll clean him up if the saves don't come through, and DJ's doing a nice job of... I mean, he knows his role is to disrupt those. But once... I mean, that fight was just an absolutely insane fight.
You're trying to fight DJ. The orbs spot him, but he is already jumped away before he can get cut down. Meanwhile, top lane, Raven trying to make a play here, is actually trying to catch the heroes. That way the rest of his team can come in. Oh, jeez. BKB is going to be activated. Dota2 just wants to make sure that there's no chance of him getting caught.
He went Lincoln's Silver Edge, too, so we're talking about this split push and the catch issues from Fnatic. Just getting exacerbated here.
Oh, they had a vision. They cut down the tree. They do throw out the curse, but Yatoro, he actually managed to get away from the curse in time. They're going to all in onto Mira here. See if they can kill him. Defensive sleep, though. Mira, tether up in 1 second, but the rest of the team, here comes Collapse. Epicenter is ready to go. He actually gets blasted away by Armel, but maybe they don't need it. As Yatoro is cleaning up hero after hero. He's burned out the rest of the mana from Jabs. Januel has really just given Jabs a small hope in being able to get out alive. Collapse is still holding on to that same epicenter. It's not needed. 4 dead. Armel on the run with an E-Blade, and Yatoro has an Aegis still, so he is perfectly happy to hunt down whatever heroes that are left. I mean, this aggressiveness of the AM, all the farm they funneled into him, he is paying it back out to his team in spades, the way he is just jumping into the face of Fnatic at all times. Armel TP'd up to top lane. He's actually going to get caught by Toronto-Tokyo's setup.
Collapse, you know, he saved that epicenter to try and KS that kill. He didn't need it for the fight. It's like a good carry will do.
Yeah.
Honestly, that fight is the Observer Ward on the backside of that Radiant Hill.
Yeah.
All the credit. They were even pinging it after the fight. Someone's probably like, nice job, Apashka. You know, you did something useful. Good job. But honestly, vision wins fights in professional Dota. Fnatic had vision, but Team Spirit had the better vision. And that's kind of the story of this team. You have to be able to out-execute them in the early game. You have to be able to out-team fight them. You have to be able to out-vision them.
Welcome to playing TI Champions, you know? Game 1 at the major.
Yeah. That's a pretty rough start to your major run, is having to face up against the TI champs right away, who, again, really...
They're executing well.
They are executing very, very well. I mean, these guys are young Dota addicts, you know? They won TI and they just kept playing more Dota. And Yatoro is, well, he's having a great time because they're going to take the bottom lane of Barracks. They know that Fnatic can't fight, not into this Aegis, not with heroes missing.
No way.
And Yatoro, he mana voids to get the small stun to finish up Januel. Oh my goodness, what a killer instinct, just diving past tier 4s to make sure that it went to Wyvern. So now there's still a man down for another 40 seconds.
Yeah, no buy. That's going to be another lane. And Collapse, he's looking top. You know, he's thinking about more here with the relo.
He is. Relocate coming in.
They can reload Bane for the grip.
They can't. They relocated the Bane? Damn, that's smart.
You got to get that BKB cancel grip in there.
That is so good. And they leave Yatoro alone. Well, not entirely alone. The Toronto-Tokyo is there, but it's not like he's in trouble. Who's going to kill him?
He's immortal, and he's got Aegis of immortality as well, so...
Yeah. Double immortality for this man. Collapse actually burrow struck himself into an awkward position here, but he's got BKBs, so...
You were talking about this mana void, son. We've seen Yatoro just insta-throw it out off these blinks.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting way, because you have this new talent, right? This 0.7 second mana void.
Yep.
I mean, not super new, but it makes this a decent duration stun when we're talking about how much burst AM can do out. It's a pretty interesting way to use it, and it looks pretty good, honestly. It's like a mini Abyssal, you know? You're not getting the huge damage, but...
Yeah, I mean, when you've got Butterfly Scotty, just your right-click seemed to be enough. As now Jabs, self-fuels, but he doesn't really have a Timber Chain to be able to get away. The Cold Embrace delays the inevitable at this point, as he is still dead.
All right, Raven on the back line, but...
I mean, yeah, they tried. They're going to go for the supports at the same time, though. It's Collapse. He's already done his job. DJ, he's just going to watch from the trees as Raven goes on a suicide mission. Team Spirit, man, what a game 1 from them. I mean, this was a laning phase that actually went, I would say, pretty decently for
It
Fnatic.
was-
CS-wise,
It was going okay, but
yeah,
again, if we go back, that first blood to AM top,
yeah, that
it
was
is the
rough.
one guy you do not want to give it to in this game. As we saw, especially when they commit the IO to that AM lane, right?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
different if it's an AM Bane, because I think the lane will progress a little better for Fnatic. You won't be able to play as aggressive. But when they commit the IO is the one who